Bubala, you have asked me how to get better, how to develop. Bubala, I say to you, better, best, and the worst. These words exist only in the realm of the mind, in the heart, in nature. These words have no relevance at all. Heart simply means harmony, incessant harmony. And the mind simply means comparison and incessant dilemma and confusion. Whenever we talk about perfection and being perfect, remember, it always related to the mind. In nature, imperfections doesn't exist at all. In the context of the world, you may be an imperfect human being. But in the context of nature, you are always perfect. Dynamically perfect, which is your authentic reality. నేను రాసిన ఒక శతకంలో ఒక చిన్న పద్యం. కొమ్మ శిఖరముపై మొగ్గ సంపూర్ణము పరిపూర్ణము, ఆపై వికసించు ప్రకాశించు మరణించు పరిపూర్ణమై, ప్రకృతిలో ప్రయాణము పరిపూర్ణము నుంచి పరిపూర్ణము వరకు, రీసా అసంపూర్ణ అపరిపూర్ణములు, మనసు లీలలు కపోలములు, రసో వైసాహ. Whenever we relate ourselves with the mind, these words become relevant and meaningful. But whenever there is a context arise, whenever we relate ourselves with nature, with the enlightenment, with the true meaning of the process and the journey, these words vanish into the thin air. It has no value at all. కొమ్మ శిఖరము మీద మొగ్గ సంపూర్ణము పరిపూర్ణము, ఆపై వికసించు ప్రకాశించు మరణించు పరిపూర్ణమై, ప్రకృతిలో ప్రయాణము పరిపూర్ణము నుంచి పరిపూర్ణమునకు, అసంపూర్ణ అపరిపూర్ణములు మనసు లీలలు కపోలములు, రీసా రసో వైసా. Bubala, in nature, there is no such thing called betterment, no chaos nor creation. Nature simply means an eternal process, a self-functioning mechanism. So these all words come into being, chaos and the creation and the destruction and the development and the birth and the death because we start analyzing things. It is human curiosity to categorize things. Otherwise, nature is beyond all kinds of analyzations, comprehensions, and understandings. Since we all have the mind, we all try to understand what it is. We have to give a name to everything. We have to pin it down so that mind becomes calm and quiet. So let me ask you a simple question, Bubala. Now you are a male. Have you ever tried to be a better male? That is absurd. If there is a beautiful girl, women, do they try to be a better feminine or female? That is not possible. That is absurd. Because being male and being female is your authentic reality. At the most, you can decorate it, but you cannot bring betterment into that aspect. Just imagine a person who comes to you and say that I have been trying to be a better male by tomorrow. You just laugh at him. That is sheer ignorance. I always sit silently and look at my small garden. And I only witness one thing. It is we actually think that this tree is beautiful, that tree is not beautiful. It flowers better and that doesn't flower. It is a useful tree and that is not useful. It is our perception. But for nature, all trees are equal. Every entity in the nature plays its own vital role. It is irreplaceable. Remember, Bubala, for nature, what grass blade does and what role it plays is as significant as what kind of role you play. But the problem is only human is successfully separated from its authentic reality. And by he is getting closer and closer and closer to the fragmented reality called the world, where he is stuck between this labyrinth of the words, perfection, imperfection, development, creation, chaos, this and that. Nature simply implies the totality of something which is unexplicable and undefinable and undescribable. For the sake of accepting, why don't you accept it? So let me give you an analogy. If nature represents 100%, which I call perfection or being perfect, every moment it balances itself. So nature needs 100 entities to be balanced. Maybe thousands and thousands of years ago, there were only 100 trees. And few thousands years passed, and there were only 90 trees and 10 animals. Again it is 100. Then 50 trees, 10 animals, and 40 human beings. Again it is balanced. It is 100%. And when there is a slightest imbalance, nature feels immediately, it shakes itself in such a way, and everything falls in its place perfectly well. Again it becomes perfect. The quality and the magnanimity of the nature reflects in every entity in the universe. You just look at yourself, then you understand what I am saying. All the five elements exist in the nature, exist in you also. All the seasons exist in the nature, exist in you also. So it is a continuous process. The person who lives in the mind, who relates himself with the mind, then he starts analyzing everything. He starts defining everything, and by, he settles himself in a limbo. When a person understands nature in its totality, suddenly there is an enlightenment that he realizes that there is no separation between the nature and him. It is one nature, one authentic reality. It is, if you see, an endless tides keep on coming and going. So Bubala, you asked me how to get better. And I say to you, just get rid of the mind. Once mind falls, all these ideas will fall on its own accord. In the deepest sleep, in Sushupti, when you become one with the universe, one with the cosmos, one with the nature, what is the deepest sleep? Where your body and mind has no occurred arrogance. Where these two entities beautifully melt and merge with nature, there is tremendous tranquility. That is Sushupti. When you really understand the essence of life and nature, the essence of the deepest sleep, Sushupti, will continue even the waking state. That is the miracle of miracles. Then you are just a pure process. As flowers come and go, and as flower doesn't hold on to any particular flower, it has no attachment. It puts its whole energy into the blossoming. The same thing happens to you also. So as a person, I say to you, the person in me disappeared long back. Now I am just living like a process. Go and look at a river, the flowing river. Now try to understand, how is it flowing? Is it better, best, or worst? Or these words have no relevance at all. It is up to you. All these problems arise just because we compare too much with others. So Bubala, I say to you, the answer doesn't lie in defining these words. One gets the right answer when he or she understands the essence of the mind in its totality. So let me read the poem again. కొమ్మ శిఖరము మీద మొగ్గ సంపూర్ణం పరిపూర్ణము, ఆపై వికసించు ప్రకాశించు మరణించు పరిపూర్ణమై, ప్రకృతిలో ప్రయాణము పరిపూర్ణము నుంచి పరిపూర్ణమునకు, రీసా అసంపూర్ణ అపరిపూర్ణములు, మనసు లీలలు కపోలములు, రసో వైసహ. ఇవన్నీ కపోలములు అంటే మనస్సు కల్పించే కల్పితాలు, మస్తిష్కానికి సంబంధించిన ఆటలు. ఆడుకోవాలి, తప్పులేదు, కానీ అవే సత్యమని మాత్రం అనుకోకూడదు. You better understand what I am saying. In this statement, I feel this word better has some significance. Let me conclude by saying these two statements again. Better, best, and the worst comes into being where there is comparison. The moment comparison disappears from your life, all these words fall apart. Raso, vaisaha.